Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal. Hopefully, everybody can see me here. I'm trying to keep an eye on my phone, which looks like I'm on here tonight instead of the first 20 minutes like last week. I wasn't on here, but tonight I am. Tonight, we got some really cool guests and an amazing team as well. It's the Illinois Paranormal Research Group, and we have Cheryl, Ryan, and Becca sitting backstage, and we will be talking about their team, quarters one at the Rock Island Arsenal, and what happened when we all joined up one night. So here we go. Cheryl, Ryan, and Becca. Becca's sitting in the center, by the way.
Yeah. Focus all questions at Becca tonight.
Well, I told you I can pull a joke once in a while as well. So
listen, if she gets sassy, we'll just start calling her Becky. Sure. Yes.
That's fine. So Cheryl, can you tell us how you guys all kind of got started in the paranormal field?
So back in 2010, our team's founders, oh my gosh, Lindsay Hines and Eric, and they were cousins. They had been going out and investigating with other teams in the area, and they decided that they wanted to form their own team because, you know, back in the day, you had to be an actual established team to get to go to those big locations,
right,
and investigate. They just didn't let anybody who wanted to go. And so they formed the team with their friend Mike Prine. Hi, Heidi. In 2010, I joined the team in 2011. And then Becca joined in
2018.
No,
16,
that was me.
15. Becca joined in 2015. Ryan joined in 2018. So yeah, and then I took over the team in 2016.
That's awesome. What actually got you started, Cheryl, in it? I mean, overall, what happened? Did you have any experience?
Yeah, I actually grew up in a haunted house. My dad still lives in the house today. So I was fortunate that I had parents that didn't squash I see somebody, you know, and then you can talk to people. They never told me, no, it's your imagination. They never, you know, squashed any of those things that I thought and felt and things in the house. So I was fortunate.
But they still won't let us investigate.
They still won't let me investigate there. I think my dad would let us. It's my stepmom that's not so. So there's a story that when I was maybe 6 or 7 years old, my name got written in the woodwork of the staircase. Okay. And to this day, I am 53 years old. I did not do it. But I have the tools now to prove that it wasn't me.
Ooh.
So I don't know. So the house is still, there's still activity. It would be common to hear the back door open and close, footsteps across the floors. You would sit and wait. You'd hear people come down the stairs and wait for them to come to the basement. And nobody ever showed up. And so, yeah. So I think I just grew up with it. And then I never knew teams were a thing. You know, I thought ghost hunters was that was it. What you see on TV. And then just mutual friends and things. I met Lindsay and it all just came together from there.
That's cool. That's really cool. So your name is in the staircase or in the rail, right?
Yep.
So is it scratched, carved?
Yeah, it's like scratched into the wood staircase. Still to this day, it's there. And I have tools now to prove it wasn't me. But like I said, I think my dad would let us in. It's my stepmom. That's probably not too sure. My mom would like to know. And she doesn't live there anymore. So right. she's like, yes. But, you know, she doesn't live there. It's my dad and my stepmom. So
they won't let you go in and do any EVPs or anything?
No.
Oh, man.
I know.
That's
We've
a
talked
bummer.
about sneaking in
when
when
they're
they go on
on
a,
vacation.
when they go on a cruise.
They go on cruises all the time.
We are at an undisclosed location tonight.
God.
we just have to sneak past their Ring doorbell cameras.
Yeah, we'll just send Cheryl in first and cover it up, and then next
Yep.
everything walks in.
Don't worry, Dad.
We got it covered. Ryan, what about you?
So I've always kind of been into the paranormal, even as a child. Looking back now that I've been in it for so long, some of my childhood, I'm like, my house was probably haunted, but not in like a crazy amount of activity. It wasn't until my teenage years that I really started experiencing and seeing things, like being touched and having things thrown at me.
Still today.
I know, it's-
Yeah, it still happens to this day, stuff thrown at me. But anyway.
With a little excess force, as you're saying.
Right?
Yeah. But yeah, just as a teen, I started having experiences, and then I ended
Hey, Alfredo.
up starting to hang out with a different team originally, and then became part of their team. And there was a little bit of a falling out. It wasn't. I'm cool with the people to this day. I mean, we don't have any bad blood or anything, but it was just kind of a lot of things going on at that time, and stuff was changing. So I ended up leaving that group, and when we went out to Edinburgh Manor, just some of the old team, and then part of Illinois Paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I met Cheryl and ended up with them.
Because I had the greatest time investigating with him. I've always been a very in the box investigator.
Mm-hmm.
Not like I use my skills and my abilities, those things, but Ryan made me go outside of this proverbial box.
Well, because the issue really was, it was at the time the team was very, let's stick to the ABCs of ghost hunting. Let's figure out male, female, and then let's figure out age. Let's figure out, and places like Edinburgh Manor that are heavily investigated, they hear those questions so often that they're like, oh, not again. I'm like, well, I guess we're going out of the box here. And I'm like, hey, what do you guys think about platypus? Like, it's a creature that shouldn't exist. Like,
right.
So that's kind of where she was like, I need this dude on my team.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely one thing I like.
And he pushed me beyond my limits and made me really push my abilities and what I can do by just, no, you can do this.
I'll throw people under the bus. I'm not afraid to.
For sure.
You hear that in the background. Thought it was Ryan. He didn't.
Too bad the spirits know. That's why you get stuff thrown at you.
Exactly. And that's why we get things thrown at us.
Yeah.
Well, you got to have the person that, how do I say, has a little bit of fun, but does think outside the box. It makes things interesting for 100%.
100%. It's made me a better investigator. Made me a better sensitive, all the way around. So I don't question myself as much. All
right. Now we got the one at center stage, the magnificent Becca. How'd you get involved, Becca?
I've always been interested in the paranormal or the other side, I guess. I can't say I experienced tons when I was younger. There were just a couple times in my house where, somebody was walking down the stairs from upstairs, but nobody was home. But my mom and we both heard it. I've seen my papa, his ghostly spirit. But nothing crazy. I actually got involved with the team and actually going to events because of a friend that I worked with. And she was like, do you want to go do this? And I was like, heck yeah, I want to go do this. And so we did it, and we did it again and again and again. And then she became a team member because we also worked with Lindsay. And I didn't know it at the time. But, Lindsay was the founder of the team. So anyway, my friend became a team member, and then I was like, well, I want to do it too. So then I became a team member.
I want to be on the cool club.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I know I got first opportunity, I think, to meet you guys at the Rock Island Roadhouse
Yes.
Yep.
when we were all there.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually had quite a discussion that day that led to a team up investigation with three or four other teams. I think there was a fourth team there as well. But yeah, I sat there and started talking to you guys, and I was like, these guys are pretty cool. I like to investigate with these guys, because we seem to have a lot in common. And I sat there and talked with Becca, and we did a little bit of energy work, and I think that opened her eyes to being Reiki a little more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was actually
100%.
cool. So quarters one, you guys are the lead team that was kind of in charge of that. How'd that all happen?
So we weren't the first. They're Rock Island Paranormal. They were the first ones. They hosted those. They had like a dinner tour type thing, and they held investigations there. Our team had been investigating there since 2010, and some things happened with that other team. They kind of had some falling outs and those types of things, and another team took over, and then they asked us to come in and help them with some things. And then some things happened with that team. And then I've always been close with Anna, who works at the MWR office at the Rock Island Arsenal. And she asked us if we would start doing the paranormal investigations for her. The Arsenal was going to close quarters one to all investigations because of some happenings with some other teams and things. So
Right.
we really had to go in and prove ourselves, our professionalism, and how we carry ourselves and how we conduct our investigations and how we work with the spirits there, and just, I think what's important with the Arsenal is remembering where you are. You're on an active army base.
Mm-hmm.
And your, quarters one is the second largest living residence, second to the White House. Quarters one is just short of 22,000 square feet. The White House is 90,000 square feet.
Right.
So we started off, we did like 4 Publix a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would do our 1, and then we did 4 for the Arsenal. Now we do 1 for us, and we do 10 a year for the Arsenal. So we start up there again this January, and that's our event. And then we start the MWR events in February, and we monthly.
Yeah, I know the night that you invited me up there, you were explaining some of that, and all the things that you guys do up there. I think that's amazing what you guys do at that place, because that place is awesome. I mean, the experience I had there that night was really cool. This was the picture that happened that night. I know I didn't get everybody in it, but here's a few of us that was there that night. We all were together that night.
Yep. Haunted happy hour and Alfredo, myself. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was. If you definitely want to check out that video, you can go onto my YouTube page under the Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal. And I think Haunted Happy Hour, and you guys got some video up there of that night as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know when we started investigating that night, we kind of broke up into teams a little bit and separated. But me and the girls there from Haunted Happy Hour, we actually got some shadow figures there in the front part of the building there by where we were sitting, going through our grid lights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were up
Yeah.
on 2nd floor when that was happening.
Gabi and I were on 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Shadows are so common there.
Yeah. And then we actually went downstairs and we experienced the REM pod going off down by the tunnel,
Mm-hmm.
which was one of the guys I said to invite us up to, said he could follow me around later, and he ended up following us up to the 3rd floor that night to end that investigation.
Mm-hmm.
So tell everybody a little bit about some of the experiences you guys have had there with stuff that's going on. Because
Yes.
the night that I was there was quite a bit going on.
And it was actually quiet that night. That was a quiet evening.
Gabi and I had pretty
Yeah.
good session on third.
So over the years, we've gotten a lot. We've had multiple. We have so many EVPs that we have captured, like just direct responses to us, showing their personalities. We have one that I'm counting down 3, 2, 1, and right before I say 1, there's a breathy 1 right before me. So just their personalities. We've caught a few full-bodied apparitions on our camera systems. Those are all up on our YouTube page.
Questionable orbs.
Questionable orbs.
I'm not a huge orb fan, just because it can be disproven easy enough. There's too many natural explanations for them, but there's some that are questionable. It's like, it's definitely weird.
Yeah.
It used to be very commonplace. You would, during the day, hear full-blown conversations in the house, footsteps, singing, a woman singing all the time. Just so many things. Yeah, if you would sit in the parlors late at night and just sit quiet. Yeah, spider, not spider. Just sit quietly in the parlors. You would actually hear horse hooves and like a carriage being pulled behind it. Totally, residual, obviously. But the fact that you experience these things, and then plus you have the Civil War prisoner camp right across the street.
Right.
Where the golf course now is, where 1,600 Civil War prisoners died.
I think as far as like the most probably prolific experiences I've had there, besides seeing full body apparition, which is like the holy grail of
right.
the paranormal, is on 2 separate occasions the flashlights being thrown at me. One completely missed. The other one did hit me in the back. I had a bottle pulled out of, I was wearing a hoodie at the time, and I had a bottle pulled out of my pocket and thrown on the ground. Recently, it's only been a few months now. We were tearing down, and I had my recorder on a little tripod, and I had it sitting in my back pocket, and I felt it get pulled out of my pocket and dropped on the ground. They're pretty handsy there, so
especially in the basement.
Yeah, touching's not uncommon there. I used to hear my name whispered to me all the time there. There's times where we were all standing in the kitchen, and then you'd hear a woman come in and be, hello?
Yeah.
I'm like, hello?
Because a lot of times
a lot of DVP.
Yeah. A lot of times when Ryan and I are there Fridays setting up for our events, it's just the two of us.
Right.
And we'll be in the kitchen and we'll both look at each other like, did you just hear that? Because it's just the two of us in the house. Right. So it's not going to be anybody else. So
as long as we lock the door.
Right. Sometimes we forget to lock the door and strangers just randomly walk in.
You get people who visit the island, and I don't know what makes them think that they can just go up to a house and go inside of it, but they do.
We actually had a retired colonel.
Yeah.
Oh.
We always accommodate.
Yeah.
It's frowned upon, but we tend to accommodate and give them the tour and explain it to them.
Yeah. We had a retired colonel who he thought it was still a residence. And walked in the front door and was like, Colonel, like looking for the commanding officer who should be living there. And we walk in, we're like, oh, hi. And he's like, hi. So then he starts asking questions and we tell him what we're doing. He's like, so nobody lives here? I said, no, the the colonel lives across the street in quarters too. Oh, okay. So, and then we tell him some stories, give him some history on the house, and then Julian took him on a walk through the house, and Ryan and I finished doing whatever we were doing.
Awesome.
Yeah, that place is huge. I mean, I was just amazed on how many different spots you could actually go and how big that house actually is. I got to do some energy work with Alfredo down there in the basement where there used to be a tunnel there as well. That's kind of a portal. And the section down in the area by where the jails were, or the judges section, somewhere in that area.
Okay.
Yeah. And I actually seen some energy walking in and out of that section when I was down there. Because when I see an apparition, I see energy. I don't see a full body apparition. I mean, I've only seen like 2 in my lifetime. And it happened to be my girlfriend that passed away, and then a couple others. But that otherwise, I just see energy going into a certain location. And it was like walking right into that section where that wall was down there. Mm-hmm. And I did a little bit of energy work down there with Haunted Happy Hour as well. And
it's very common in that basement. It used to be very commonplace that they kind of like encircle you down in the basement, and they would like push. Everybody would be all of a sudden clustered together without even realizing it would happen.
I think my theory on that is it's easier to collect energy when it's all together than it is to try to go, I'm going to go here and collect this energy and go here and collect this energy. When you're all like bunched together, then it's all centralized in one location.
And it would happen without us realizing it. And we'd be like, what? Whoa, hello.
We would just be all shoulder to shoulder, public, all the guests, everybody would just, all of a sudden we would just be in this tight circle. Yeah.
So then we became aware to those things, and then we're always conscious of not pulling in, not getting pushed in to it. But
arm's length.
Yeah.
Arm's length.
What left?
One of the things that actually had me curious after the fact when I left after that night, I got to thinking on the way home is, all of us were together up in the one room for the final one. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But it makes me curious. Have you guys experimented on the fact of being in one location, like downstairs, being somewhere upstairs in the second floor, and maybe another person up in the third floor, to see if that spirit traveled like it did from the basement to the third floor that night that we were getting?
So that was kind of weird that happened with you, because the spirits in that house, there's a very strong hierarchy. And so the fact that spirit left the basement.
I will say, though, the basement, it is weird that he left the basement.
He left the basement. Like other places in the house, like they'll go from first floor to second floor to third floor. But the fact that spirit left the basement was very odd. And General Rodman and Colonel King were not exactly pleased with that happening, because that spirit should know his place.
But that's them. I mean, that's commonplace.
So, it was weird that happened, and that, they responded and they concurred that, yes, that you had told them that they could come upstairs with you, and that they came up. They did go back to the basement. But that was a very curious. That was an interesting. I was like, oh shit. I'm gonna have to deal with these grumpy men.
because I said, feel free to follow me, and then we ended up on the third floor. And then when we asked that question, did you come from the basement? And the flashlight turned on that night.
And immediate too. Like it was an immediate response.
Yeah, it makes me very curious to be able to maybe do some type of a test to see if that would happen more often with certain people.
They do. They follow, because I get in trouble that when spirits follow me to my next session,
Yeah.
and then the people that go to that go to where I just was, and the spirits follow me, and then their session is blop because they came with me to my next session.
But also, curiously enough, we've also experienced spirits splitting their energy between two places.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't exactly like pay a full attention in one spot. They kind of like boom, 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 zip back and forth between the sessions. But we could be talking to the same person between two sessions on two different areas of the house.
That's cool.
Well, I think about we had one night where we were at the house where you were in Lindbergh and I was downstairs on cameras, and he had our triangle proximity detector in the doorway, and they kept asking, "Where's Cheryl?"
Through the spirit box.
Through the spirit box. And Ryan's like, "Go find her." And you see the proximity detector goes off, walked out the room, and then when
it was about a minute or so later,
they came back and you watched the spirit box again, it came in the room.
Yeah.
And then on the spirit box it said, "Found her."
I think for me, in that house, it is the intelligent spirit.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple.
Oh,
They are,
most definitely.
yeah.
Yep.
Most definitely. I mean, the questions that we were asking, I mean, we'd get a positive response and an answer to just about everything we asked. And it was, and no hesitation, even like when we were up in the third floor, all of us together that night, we were up there at the third floor, and, you know, we were asking, "Hey, did you follow us up or follow me up?" And it went right off the bat. And then we were asking some other questions, and it just went off. And I was like, wow.
And I think what's really cool is we've been able to, through the like the SB7s and all that, through those radios, we get the same voices, the same tones when we're speaking to certain spirits. So we're getting to know what their voices sound like.
They try to be silly about it sometimes too. They'll be like, "Yeah, this is Rodman here." And we're like, no, it's not.
But I actually, I'm working with the island historians right now, and they're looking to see if they have any voice clips of anybody.
Oh, that'd be cool.
To see if we can make any comparisons, which is where we're so fortunate that we have this relationship with so many different places on base that, you know, that we can try to find and make actual historical connections to our findings. That puts so much relevance in our field as a whole when you're able to actually go through and make those historical connections, which I think is just absolutely amazing about what we get to do.
Oh, most definitely. And I think that's the first place in a long time that I've actually been that's had that much activity with a positive response. Because I've had REM pod activity with haunted dolls, and they've just made the REM pods go crazy, sitting between the REM pods sitting between their legs, and dealing with that in one night, and having the laser grid and seeing a shadow next to the dolls as well. I've dealt with things like that, but otherwise, you know, for positive responses and in intelligent responses, I have to say that's the place I've had the most positive response.
This is how intelligent they are, right? Last year or the year before, there was some remodeling going on. We were using the SB7, and we were asking, you know, the spirits questions like, "Can you see what's happening?" And we found out, you know, from them, like the women were scared and all this stuff. But then it turned into Rodman was interviewing us basically and asking us, "How much is this going to cost? Who approved these changes?" There were just
He said, "This is my house, my walls, there was nothing wrong with what he built.
Yeah.
And
Right.
who's going to pay for all of this? Whoa, sir,
Yeah.
I don't know. Not you."
But even as rapport goes between us and the spirits there, maybe it was the last time we were there, the time before, we were having an Estes session with Rodman and his wife Martha, and they're like, "Is it Tuesday?" And we're like, "No, it's Saturday." I'm like, "Well, are you going to be here on Tuesday?" "No, I don't plan on it." They're like, "Oh, will you come back?" Because it was going to be like, I think it was Veterans
It was going to be
Day
Veterans Day
on Tuesday.
Ah.
So they're like, "Well, come back and we'll be waving from the rooftops." And we're like, we'll try. I can't guarantee. I'm sorry."
They were like, "Come to the house," and we were like, "Well, we weren't invited. We can't just."
And they're like, "But
come
you're
in."
invited."
"Yeah, you're invited. Like, we don't have the keys. We
Yeah.
can't just come in whenever you want." And they're like, "But you're invited." And we're like, "Well, I'm touched. I'm honored, but I mean, it doesn't quite work that way for us."
And then that's when they said that they would wave from the rooftops. It was.
It's so odd because it's the weirdest thing. Because then after that, Gabi and I were talking about it, and I said the strangest thing though is Veterans Day wasn't a thing. Armistice Day wasn't even a thing until like
I don't remember.
1919, something like that.
Mhm.
And so like Rodman wasn't
Around.
he wasn't alive, but
He was
it
around
just
for all the
but
years.
it just
Yeah, he wasn't alive.
but it just shows you that but he was around because he was still in that house with
Mhm.
every single year, every single colonel and their families. And like, are they that intelligent that they have experienced all of these years of all of these families and all of the comings and goings? And it's
But the weird part is they still have their own business they're attending to.
Mhm.
Like in
They're
their
still
own
working.
time frame.
They're
Yeah.
commingled timelines.
Mhm.
Right. Have you ever got a chance to put up a camera? Like, they said they'd be standing from the balcony. Have you ever actually had a chance to put up a camera? Maybe absolutely catch that by chance?
Ryan and I have rigged up so many different
Yeah.
camera angles in that house. We've had it pointed. We've had it going, like looking down the staircase. We've looked from, because when you look when you're in the entryway and you look up and it's open all the way up.
That's really
We've
cool.
put cameras looking up. We've had cameras looking down.
Yeah.
Simply because we do get to investigate there so much, right? Like we have essentially free reign of this house.
But another aspect of that is like from the spirit side, they'll ask us, "Are you guys recording?" "Yeah, we're always recording."
No, because sometimes
we say no.
No, that's just our timepiece. It's just keeping time for
Yeah,
us.
our recorders are now called timers.
Yeah.
Because they get camera shy.
It'd be interesting.
Because sometimes nothing will be going on, and I'll be like, okay. And if a guy has on a hat, I'm like, "I'm stealing your hat," and I put the hat over the camera, and then things start happening.
We don't know.
It would be interesting, like a deal like we did up in Broadhead Manor, where we made a door out of PVC, and Bill put holes in the PVC around the inside of the door, and we actually connected a fog machine to it. And we wanted to see if they could actually walk through that door and we could see things. And that night we actually got to see certain things coming through that door that night.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be interesting.
I have another funny story about that too. Talking with Rodman again, and we're asking, like, we ran into the spirit up on third floor. We were talking to, and we're like, "We have no idea who this lady is. We've never talked to her before. Can you go see who it is?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll be right back." And he goes up to third. He's like, "Well, the door's closed." And we're like, "Can't you go through it?" So, like, I'm like, I don't. You want us to go up there to open it? He's like, nah.
Because it's funny because like Ryan will have this banter with the spirits and they come right back at him through the spirit box. It's like one night he's complaining that they're being boring and he's tired and they told him, well, then go. And then one night he's like, you guys are being, you know, you can do this. He's like, they're like, but I'm tired. And, you know, and we're lucky enough that we've have these things recorded and we're able to share them and share with our guests that come to our events. And it's just really
we're really lucky that we've been able to build a relationship with the people that are there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I said, I thought that was really interesting being there that night. And there's so much space to explore there as well. One of the things I'd like to, if I get a chance to come up there again, is the Watchtower. Have you guys ever did anything in the Watchtower?
We used to be able to go up there. They're doing some repair work on it now, so it's locked off. Sometimes I'm given the keys, sometimes I'm not. They don't really want people up there because the stairs aren't structurally sound. So we're hoping that when they finish all of this work, we'll be able to go up there again. But we used to get to go up into the tower, not all the way up to the roof, but up into the tower. And we were able to investigate and hold sessions up there. You used to be able to sit up in there in the windows and you would just hear the footsteps on third floor and see the shadows moving on third floor up and down the hallways. But they've had those doors locked for a few years now since they've started a lot of their repair work on the house.
Because I think one of the EVPs that me and the girls got it said tower. And then I actually walked by and looked in there and I thought it was pretty interesting the way that was in there. And especially if it would be a full moon night, actually sitting in there, being able to do a session in there would be really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a beautiful view as well. Like I said, hopefully once they get all of that work done, we'll be able to get back up there again.
Yeah.
So,
I actually had one of my first experiences in that house up in the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
I was there as a public person. And we were just up there having a session and I noticed I see, I guess, spirits in like lights. So anyway, I was seeing like 2 lights on the floor and they were kind of just like circling around each other or like, you know, I pictured 2 kids playing with each other, like cars, trucks. I mean, they were just going back and forth and around. And
that would have probably been back in the era where there were more kids in that house.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a lot less spiritual kids in that house now than there used to be.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm not sure where they all went, but they're not there now. So maybe they grew up or moved on.
Or were able to move on.
Well, and I was with Anne.
Yes.
And she did tell me that there were kids in the room. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Anne would know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, that whole place is very interesting. Cheryl, you being gifted with your abilities, what's the strangest thing you've experienced in there personally?
I mean, there's stories. There's weird.
There's so many. Like, I get frustrated in the house a lot when they're not talking, but they're standing there. And I'm like, just talk. And I can't, because like when we're doing a public session, I focus strictly on investigating and not so much on me. Because the guests are there for and I don't want to sound like a crazy person, right? Because not everybody's in our field.
Well, we have skeptics too.
Yes.
And I feel like that would.
You're always going to have skeptics, but yeah.
I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical of myself and then things happen. But just seeing the dark getting darker and that darkness coming at you in that house, I don't know, just seeing and hearing things and knowing what's going on.
And I think in that house, especially, like when you do have gifts, they can see it and they swarm.
Yes, you're like a beacon of light for them.
Yeah.
And they will use you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like when I was sitting there, like I said, downstairs in the basement when we were communicating and the REM pod was going off. And, you know, you could see the energy around Lily at the time when she came out. I mean, the REM pod was going off. That's a visual for the people to see that there's something actually there.
Right.
But for us, the ones that actually can see the energy or the shadows or the different aspects of a spirit, you could see it standing there.
Yes.
Without a doubt. And you know it's touched her because you know it touched the back of her hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I said, you know, if you'd like to follow me, then follow me, because I like to see how things interact.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see how they interact with me, because there has been some places I've went into, they don't like me. They tell me to leave. They just want me gone.
That happens.
My whole thing is when I get told to leave, I always have a follow-up, and it's like, I will gladly leave, but I would like to know why, for my own knowledge. Maybe it's something I said, maybe it's something I did, maybe you just don't like my energy. If you don't like my energy, then I don't have to keep returning to the spot and bugging you.
Right.
But if you tell me, then I know and I can change that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
But it's usually just like, no, go away.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. Because
okay, bud.
Yeah, I know a lot of the military police on base. They're and the firemen are they're very uncomfortable in that house. They've been called in because the phone's ringing. They get called in because the fire alarm's going off and there's nobody there. And they get in the house and then they hear "get out" with their own ears. And
they're not very nice to those guys there.
No, they don't care for them too much.
They like certain people.
Yeah.
I think for a while there was a bit of time where they were still getting used to us and they would try to scare us and stuff. I mean, they get bored. They've been there 100+ years, so you know their pastime is trying to scare people, and it's like, I'm not one to run. I'm just fat and lazy, so you have to do something pretty darn good to get me to up and running.
Yeah, no doubt. It's like, go ahead, chase me.
Yeah, I haven't come across that yet, so.
I think, you know, like I said, the times that I've been told to get out is because me and the Reiki master were together, and it's our energy and our guides. And sometimes I don't think they get along with some of our guides at times because they're kind of fearful of them, depending on who they are. I
understand that.
And because there's some nasty ones I've actually put away and taken to another location. And I think they're very well aware of the things that I can do. And that's why, you know, sometimes they tell me just leave, because sometimes the team members won't even get a response if I'm standing there. So I'll just go outside for a little bit and come back in. But I think
that's actually happened with some of our guests before. And it's usually a skeptic who will shut down an entire session. And like, I remember I'd be on 3rd floor doing a session, and I get radioed to the basement. And the guest had put up such a wall because they were such a skeptic. And I couldn't even get anything stirred up because I couldn't get through what they had put up. Because usually I can stir shit up. Ryan can stir them up.
Stir shit up.
Yeah, see, like I said, I've noticed it with me. It's some of my guides they don't like for sure, and I don't know if you've ever crossed that being the way we are, Cheryl, with our gifts.
I look at spirits how I look at people.
Yeah.
Because they were living, and you know when you meet somebody if you are going to like them or not. You know, if you're going to get along or not. And I look at spirits in that exact same way. That if we weren't going to like each other when we were living, we're probably not going to get along now that, you know, that non-living.
Right.
So that's just kind of how I go about it. I'm incapable of provoking. Cannot do it. If I say, if you're a man, turn the light on, I feel like I'm provoking them. Well, if you're a man, and then I apologize.
Right.
But that's just, you know, that's who I am. You know,
But as far as guide work, you don't do too much work with your
I
guides.
did. No. I did more work on that side of things before my guide passed, because my guide was my mentor, and she has passed.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a practicing shaman on our team, and she passed, and now she is my spirit guide, and she's there when I need her.
Yeah. I think since I've been taking shaman classes for the last 2 years now, a little over 2 years, I have a lighter side of looking at things more than I did when I first started, which is probably a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because I give them an option, especially the ones that are being very, how do I say, non-cooperative, you know, because we would actually encase them and leave if our clients would tell us to get rid of them. And now I'm more than likely saying, hey, you have an option. You can leave on your own, and give them the options of to go to different places, instead of just doing it and forcing them to go.
Mm-hmm.
I find out that's a little more better. And I think that's the shaman side of me with that as well, because it's the lighter side. And being empath, you know, you can feel that spirit around. And sometimes you do get that feeling of they're not going to cooperate where you don't have a choice. But
Mm-hmm.
I think we've all crossed that as well. But
I have walked the woman out of this house so many times, and she just comes back. She can stay as long as she behaves. She can stay. This was her house first.
I love Momo. She's the best.
Momo's something.
She's great.
The house I live in now is this is a very active house.
yeah,
Except for this room.
Actually, this summer, a guy come and knocked on my door here at my house and asked if he could take a tour of the house. And come to find out, 3 generations of his family lived in this house.
Oh, gosh.
And so I told him to come back a couple of weeks later, and we went through my house. And I've already had EVPs and stuff in my house before, so I know what's here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was showing him around the house, and I said, okay, I said, I'm going to tell you something strange, and you're going to think I'm a little crazy. And he goes, what's that? I said, did you have any relatives or small children that played up in my game room area upstairs? You know, it always come over, stayed in the bedroom area. And he just kind of looked at me a little strange and kind of nodded his head. It had been some of his cousins. And then I said, did your mom used to do a lot of cooking in the kitchen, or one of your aunts or relatives or whoever lived here with her that's a female? And he goes, yeah. And I said, did she hum and kind of sing a little bit? He goes, yeah. And I said, I got EVP, your family members, in my house.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kind of looked at me like, okay.
And now I'm out.
Yeah, it kind of freaked him out a little bit, but I kind of explained to him, and I said, there's nothing bad, you know. And I mean, I've had one thing follow me home that was bad, and I encased him and put him across the street, and there's a patch of grass next to a sign that's about that big that don't grow any grass anymore. So, but yeah, he followed me home. He never attached to me, but he followed me home, and he was kind of a pain in the ass.
I mean, knock on wood, I don't think we've ever encountered anything that we couldn't handle. Nothing's really followed us home ever either. We've had visitors for sure.
Lots of visitors.
Yeah, I have lots of visitors come through here, and I'll pick them up on the voice box as well. But that we happened to go to a location when I was on the old team, and we ran into some gens, and one of them actually followed me home. And about 3 days after I was home, didn't even realize it, screwed up my truck. My truck locked up, tore up my truck, and the transmission in it. And then 3 days later, I lost my job.
Oh,
Well, then I was sitting there in my bathroom area, and I was looking at the wood grain doors like you guys got there and behind you, that there's like the solid wood doors. And the vision in the door kept changing. It was showing me pictures of castles and old stuff. It would be like in Egypt or out in the desert, stuff like that. And I kept looking around. I was like, okay, I'm getting some weird reflection off something of the window or whatever. So you eliminate all that stuff, but it kept doing it. Then I go into my bedroom, and I never had a dog at the time. And I heard this growl, faint as day. It was just a growling sound. And I'm like, what the hell? And I look over in my closet, clothes closet, and there's a shadow sitting right there in the doorway. And that's where I entrapped him from and got rid of him. But that was that Jen that was here, and he wasn't very nice at the time. But
they're not nice. They're nasty, nasty things.
Hey, Lily.
Lillian is in the house from Haunted Happy Hour. But yeah, I encased him, stuck him across the street in a crystal, and put him in some salt. And like I said, there's a spot across the street. Don't grow grass anymore. So, but yeah, I mean, I've had some pretty wild experiences myself, but like I said, I loved being there in quarters 1 because, like I said, they had a lot of positive responses when I was there that night.
It's actually a very positive location, unless they're in a mood. People get in moods. It's actually pretty positive. There isn't a lot of doom and gloom things that happen there. It's,
I mean, there's folklore around the building,
right.
and
There's all kinds of stories
Right.
about things that have happened and whatnot, but
no factual information that, like, okay, it did happen. So it's all speculation, and most of the time it was just people in and out of there.
So one thing during your spirit box session, sometimes, have you ever got any information that you could actually link up to something that's actually been written down before?
yes, we were down at the servants' end of the building in the West Wing room, and we had the spirit box going, and we were asking what their name was, and we got the last name Johnson. And we're very aware that Johnson is a very common last name. And then went on to do some research. Heidi, one of our regular guests, she was on here. She was here. She might still be listening. She is a librarian and did some research, and she actually found census records of when Colonel King was living in the house. He had 2 servants, and their names were Alma and Selma Johnson. So she's still here. So that was really cool that we were able to take something that we got and actually find historical information that ties right into it.
The other would be Colonel King's books that he wrote.
Yes, and also Colonel King and his
I
books.
remember Ryan talking about that the night that we were there.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those books.
Yeah.
He had written some books. Nobody really knows where they are. I'm sure they're in somebody's private collection. Even some of them, like later on, he was like, wait, how did you guys find out about my books? It's like, you told us about the books. He was like, those were classified. It was like, then why were you telling us? You told us about
We
it.
only know about these books because you gave us information.
Right.
But then Gabi was actually able to go online, and she found like the titles of them
Uh-huh.
in the
Oh,
years.
wow.
Yeah.
So that's another kind of correlation between
Mm-hmm.
the spirit realm and actual factual information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
like I
it's
said.
neat to be able to do that. And I think that's like so many teams, you know, we go to quarters one so often and it gets exhausting sometimes.
Mhm.
But then I sit there and I'm like, you guys, we have something that there are people wish that they had.
Oh, yeah.
This ability to go in, do an investigation, leave, go through all of your stuff, and then go back and follow up, get more, go back, go through it all, and then go back again. And it's just the most amazing thing, an amazing partnership that we have, that we're able to do that. And, you know, looking at part of our name, Illinois Paranormal Research Group,
Mhm.
that we're actually able to go in and get things to repeat, talk to the same spirits in the same locations. And with this being a pseudoscience, we shouldn't be able to do this.
Right.
And yet here we are. You know, I'm over 500 investigations deep into this house.
Right.
It's like I go there and I'm home.
I'm right there with you.
You know, it's the most and that's just investigations at that house. You know, and it's just, we are so blessed and we're so lucky and we're so protective. I think me probably to a fault. So protective of that house, those spirits.
Yeah.
Because they become part of who you are.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's one time we had the spirit box going, and it was when they were doing the renovations on the house. And up on third floor, somehow one of the windows got broken.
Mm-hmm.
And through the spirit box is like, we tried to clean it up, and we're like, don't, we got it. We cleaned it up for you.
Mhm.
Everything's good now.
But they were so upset because they couldn't clean up the glass.
Hmm.
And it's just, you know, it's an amazing thing that we're able to do. And that those of us who are in this community, this, you know, that we're lucky enough to be able to do this. And
That's one interesting thing. That's one interesting thing you just brought up. They noticed the glass broke and they wanted to clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
Them being in that dimension and then in our dimension, they're floating back and forth. We realize this. But do you think at some point that glass possibly is still intact in their dimension and they're just seeing it in our dimension now?
I honestly think so. I think they split time. But the real question is, like, from what era do they see the house? Do they each see it from their era?
Yeah.
Or do they see it from, like, Rodman when he built it? Do they see it from the original, or do they see it from the last colonel that lived there?
Mm-hmm.
At what point in time do they all kind of commingle and see the house in time?
Mm-hmm.
Or are they all commingling as spirits, but in a house as they see it when they were there?
Mm-hmm.
That is an interesting concept. Yeah.
I always tell people that quarters one is like this, where you talk about you have residual and intellectual, all of these different layers. It's like peeling back this onion.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have layers of residual energies walking around, and then you have these intellectual energies, and they are just intermingled, like, and they're communicating with us and with each other. And then you have the residuals just being. It's the most amazing thing in the entire. It makes me giddy almost thinking about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like Disneyland for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, even when I walked in there, it felt like home. You got that feeling that it was home because you can never feel anything bad in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like you could feel the energy was there. And they definitely want to communicate. Like I said, even with you guys, they communicate with you guys all the time. And even when I was there, I thought that was just unbelievable, as in the fact of that. And
Right. And if you like, and that was a quiet night. That was quiet. Sometimes it's non-stop and it's like, I need to breathe.
I don't
Mhm.
have that.
I'm sorry. Sometimes Cheryl just needs to breathe.
It is a location where smaller groups do tend to fare better.
Mm-hmm.
It would just be like in life if all of a sudden you had 10 people come up to you and start asking you questions. You'd be like, whoa, hold on. Compared to like a couple people showing up.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, how's your night? I'd be like, oh, hey, like my night's been going great.
Right.
Like, how's your night going?
Yeah.
I definitely think the night that we were all there, we had an interesting group of people that with our energy the way it was, I thought it was, we all meshed together.
Right. Because it was our team and then you.
Yeah.
And
then Haunted Happy Hour.
From Haunted Happy Hour. And then we had CNR Paranormal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
Heidi, you're right.
Chris, Ryan, Cheyenne.
Yeah, Chris, Ryan, Cheyenne, and Jody from CNR Paranormal.
And Alfredo.
And Alfredo's actually with us.
No.
Yeah, he has a side project with Spectre Investigates and Paranormal Society.
Yeah, that's his side, but he's actually
yeah.
You're us, Alfredo. Come on now.
But yeah, when we asked him to be part of what we do, we definitely told him, hey, don't lose your identity. Like we want you to have your side project. We want you to be able to keep with what you're already built.
Mm-hmm.
Just mesh in with us.
Yeah.
Right.
Aww. We give you all the love, Alfredo.
Yeah. I mean, I actually get, like I said, I actually got to do some energy work with him, and we've had some pretty interesting conversations, and yeah.
Alfredo's a good guy.
and
we enjoy him.
Yeah.
I'd actually like to sit and do some energy work with Becca one of these times again, especially in that house, you know, and being able to see what we can stir up with the energy. Yeah. One of the former team members I had, we got pictures when we were in a cemetery doing energy work, and there was stuff going around between us we caught in pictures. So it would be interesting to see like people to be able to do that can do the energy stuff, and what comes up in some of the pictures when we take them.
It was definitely strange at the Esoteric Expo when you were doing your energy work, and I was able to see the transference of that energy. And like the way I saw it was like the way the heat waves look coming off a hot road.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see it, the transference of energy between your hand and others' hands. And it was just the craziest thing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
The feeling was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Actually, Lillian and Vanessa actually caught me doing that at the Masonic Lodge in Keysburg, and they got it on an SLS camera, and they could see that heat transferring between me and another person.
Oh,
so, that's cool. Hand. So actually, I think I have that picture here. Hang on. I think I can play that. Hang on. Let's see if I can dig it up here real quick here. Let's see.
Sean, how did you get into your like shaman work?
Actually, when I joined the first team I was on, I ran into what is still one of my Reiki mentors. And then I got into the energy work with that. And we got into some investigations, and then I met up with a guy that does shaman work. And about 8-9 months later, me and him started talking, and I started doing some shaman work, and it just kept going from there. But the curiosity with the energy and etc. is what keeps me going. But this is what they taught at the Masonic Lodge when we were doing some energy work. And Vanessa and Lily caught this with Eternal Paranormal's SLS camera that night.
That was crazy.
Everything that it would be, yeah.
The guest there, it was her 28th birthday, and she was there, and she could feel the energy around her when they were doing stuff. So I decided to do some energy work like I was doing with Becca there at the Rock Island
The
Roadhouse.
ladies.
And you can actually see it transfer from the SLS camera.
What are they doing? What's that? Is that the chair?
You said you were there with Eternal. Give a shout out to them. I love them guys too.
Yeah, Eternal
Great.
Paranormal was there at the Masonic Lodge. It was their open house night. Haunted Happy Hour was there with us that night as well, and then me. And then they had some guests come in. I think one of your teammates was actually there that
Yeah,
night.
Catherine was there.
Yep.
That was our one weekend off in we had 8 weeks straight of things happening on the team.
I still feel like we're going.
That's because I keep adding things in on us.
And I have to be like, Cheryl, no. I'm tired. I need a weekend.
Yeah, you can actually see her hand starting to turn a little red right here now.
Uh-huh.
Hand is lighting up,
Oh, wow.
and he's not touching her.
Oh yeah, you can see it coming off of your fingertips.
Yeah. So I thought it was really interesting when they caught that night, so I saved it.
That's cool.
But yeah,
It'd be interesting to see, like with a thermal camera, what it would capture.
yeah, and
Have one.
Yeah.
to get like maybe 3 or 4 people, or maybe even 6, in like a circle or whatever, and see if we can do a big energy work together with the 6 of us, and see what comes about in that. That would be interesting.
Yeah, it would.
Like I said, even especially at the location where you guys got all the like positive answers and stuff. So maybe we'd get some like, oh, what would happen if we did a lot of energy work there, and what kind of answers would we get? What would they say then?
And which of them would come and talk? Would it be the colonels and General Rodman who came and talk, or would it be the women who?
Oh, they love
would
free
come and
energy
talk?
there. They'll
So-
take whatever energy's put out. They'll take it. They'll use it.
Yeah.
You know, which one of them would it draw? Which group?
Yeah, it would be curious to see what would happen.
Because
Definitely.
if we put all of the girls together, the women are going to come to us,
Probably.
Interesting.
especially up on 3rd floor in mirror room. They're real shy of men.
I've been doing better in there.
Yeah.
I think they're opening up towards the group in
Mhm.
general,
Yeah.
that they're doing better.
They were unsure of Ryan last
Oh,
month, and I had to Ryan's cool. He's fine. He's harmless. Don't worry about him.
So yeah, it would be interesting to do some energy work with you guys there again one night when you guys get a chance, and I'd be willing to come up there and do it with you guys and see what we can stir up. And
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Listen, we're there all the time.
so you guys just give me a date, and I'm
Even
pretty
when
much-
we're not investigating, we're there.
Because Cheryl just throws us into things. Well,
yeah.
like this coming Sunday, Becca and I are going to be there.
Yeah, we're gonna go there.
We're going to
It's gonna be fun.
but we're doing cookie baking at quarters 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Making cookies.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, why aren't you talking to
Why
us?
aren't you talking to us?
Just
Hey, if you're making oatmeal raisin cookies, I'm gonna come.
this will be the second time we're there, and we're not talking to them.
But listen,
This whole Christmas thing they had going on was a lot of hustle and bustle, and I'm sure they were tucked away in the closed off areas away from everybody.
yes, because they had the back side of the house shut off.
They did.
The entire servants' end of the house for
All
the
the doors
Christmas
were
thing,
closed.
everything was closed. The entire servants' end was shut off.
Yeah, so I'm sure they were all like, yeah, too
Except
much.
when I was videoing our tree
Oh,
Oh yeah.
and we got I was taking a video of our tree at quarters 1 and we got a voice.
Yep.
And it either says for real, Heidi listened to it, one of our guests who comes all the time. She thinks it says found you. And I said, oh, well, that would make sense.
Oh. Okay.
So she goes, it sounds creepy, but it sounds like it says found you.
I'll have to really listen. I've just been so busy and out and about doing stuff. I haven't had a chance to even really listen to it.
But you found a car.
Yes.
I did finally. I've been looking for a car for like 3 months now because my budget was awful to be able to buy one. So
I can
it's like,
understand that. So.
yeah, I was trying to find one where at least the engine and transmission were good in it, and like it didn't look like it was in a 10-car pileup.
Right.
So I found a good 50-footer car. It looks good from about 50 feet away. It drives, everything's great on that end of things, but yeah, staying about 50 feet back, thing looks
Oh,
great.
it's beautiful. Yeah.
So don't tote some paranormal equipment.
It will.
Well, guys, we are 11 minutes past our hour. It's been great talking with you guys, and thanks for
Yeah.
coming onto the show.
Absolutely.
Any place where you'd like to say where people can find you at?
You can find us on our Facebook page, Illinois Paranormal Research Group. We're on YouTube at ILPRG. We're on TikTok at IL Paranormal Research Group. We're also, where else are we? Our website, www.ilprg.org. And then we have our podcast, The Unknown Files Show, that airs Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time on the Outdoor Call Radio app. And then it releases at 7:30 on our Spotify channel.
Awesome. Like I said, I really appreciate you guys coming on the show tonight. I'm going to set you backstage here for a second. And
Great time.
like I said, Illinois Paranormal Research Group, and they are the ones that have quarters 1.
Yep.
It's an awesome
good night.
place, and these guys are a great team, and definitely need to go check these guys out. So I'm going to set you backstage for a sec, and I'll be right
All right.
back there with you.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Take care.
Yeah, definitely go check out them guys. They are awesome. I had a great time investigating with them when I was there at quarters 1, and that place is definitely amazing. Next week, I have an open round table. We will have probably up to 6 or 7 guests, and it will be an open subject, whatever we pick that night, and it'll be a 3-part series. So definitely come check us out next Sunday and find out who the mystery guest will be on the round table. Everybody have a great night and the rest of your weekend. I'm out of here.